Joining us now from the American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament in Lake Tahoe, beautiful Lake Tahoe, Rookie of the Year from the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan. How are you, big fella?
I'm doing very well. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Talk about your game. Now, you're up there with a bunch of big players. Ben Roethlisberger's up there. Marshall Faulk, had a hole-in-one today. Talk about your golf game.
It's okay. I hit the ball pretty well today. Just didn't make too many putts, so got to keep working on the putter. But, I've been playing okay, have a lot of fun.
Matt, let's talk football. Let's get right to it. You're going into your second season, coming off a phenomenal rookie year. What do you know now going into your second season that maybe you wish you had known going into that first year?
You know exactly how much of a grind it is. It's a long season, and you got to pace yourself, be mentally prepared week in and week out. So I think that's really going to help me going into this year, just understanding how well you have to prepare, what it takes to get it done, and how much rest you need.
Let's go back to the playoff game last year. You guys, the Atlanta Falcons, surprise team, one of the surprise teams last season. You get to Arizona, you guys just can't finish the drill. Talk about that experience.
I think it's a great experience to have. Obviously, it's frustrating, or it was frustrating at the time, and, still eats at you, but you have to use that as motivation heading into this season, and at the same time, you have to learn from that experience and build on it. And I think I've done both of those.
Matt, I've always said that a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, the ability to dominate the hash area, a real big-time weapon in the red zone. You get one of the best ever, Tony Gonzalez. How does he help the offense go?
Well, it's huge for us to pick up Tony. Obviously, anytime you add a first ballot Hall of Famer to your offense, you've become a better football team and certainly a better offense. So he's going to help us out a bunch in the middle of the field, play action down in the red zone. And he's also going to create some mismatch problems for defenses in terms of, whether they play nickel dime or regular personnel against us.
Now, as an offensive lineman, I always say the quarterback's best friend is a running game. Talk about Jarius Norwood and that big running back Turner and what you guys might do differently this year, if anything, in the running game.
I think the biggest thing is what we did last year is we figured out what we're good at and what those guys are good at and what our offensive line is good at and also what we're not so good at. So, I think we fine-tuned some of the things that needed improving during the off seasons, but for the most part it's going to be more of the same. Michael Turner's a big physical back. He's going to run hard week in and week out. And Jarius, adds a little bit different dimension. He can really move. He can, make some plays on the outside. And he's a threat to take one to the house at any time. So, those guys make it pretty easy for me to do my job.
One of the things you've been good at is your play in the fourth quarter. Talk about the fact that in the NFL, these games often come down to those final moments, and playing in a tough NFC South division, that makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, there's no question about it. That's that's where you earn your money in the NFL as a quarterback is your production in the fourth quarter, because it seems like week in and week out every game comes down to the second to last drive or the last drive of the game where you need to make a play, you need to make a throw, or you need to make a good decision in order to win a game. So we've been pretty good at it. I think we still need to improve, but that's something that we've worked hard on in the off season.
Matt, I'm going to let you put on the wily veteran cap now. And they have some new quarterbacks coming into the league this year, Matthew Stafford, Mark Sanchez, and also Josh Freeman. What piece of advice would you give those young men?
The biggest thing is you got to go in, you got to work hard, and you have to learn the playbook so that when you step into the huddle, you know what you're doing, and you can kind of give off that sense of confidence that quarterbacks need to have. And secondly, you need to keep your mouth shut because, a lot of times you have to understand that as a rookie it takes time to earn people's respect, and you have to know your role. And it doesn't matter if you're a quarterback or an offensive lineman or a DB. It doesn't make a difference. You have to understand your role within that locker room. And, I think if those guys do that and play well, they'll earn their teammates' respect pretty quickly.
Speaking of respect, what I remember when you were drafted last year, Mike Smith had a lot of respect for you, and he told me during the spring he thought you were going to be the starting quarterback opening day, even though he didn't want to put pressure on you. Talk about your relationship with your coach.
You know, Coach Smith and I have a great relationship. He's a lot of fun to play for. He's intense, and he demands you to work hard day in and day out, but he makes it fun. And, you know, I think guys last year had a bunch of fun coming in every day, getting to work, getting better. He's a great motivator and a really good football coach, so I have a lot of respect for him on the field. And then off the field, he's just an awesome guy. You know, really easygoing, a lot of fun to just talk to. He gives great advice, and you know, I couldn't have asked for, you know, a better football coach to come into this league with.
What has been the mission statement for 2009 as a football team in terms of what you guys want to accomplish and the expectations?
Well, Coach Smith had the line for us, humble and hungry, and you know, that's kind of been the mantra for everybody. You know, every day we show up to work. You know, humble enough to know that you can improve and do some things better, and you got to be hungry to want to get back to where we were and you know, ultimately get further. So that's kind of been, you know, our goal this offseason is to just work hard, get better, improve on the little things. And if we feel like if we can do that, we're going to be a better football team next year.
Now, former Atlanta Falcon Jesse Tugler's got a son that's up there at your old alma mater. Has Jesse come to talk to you about and give him a little advice for his son?
You know, I talked to those guys last year, right before they went up. I think it was during the OTA period before he went up. Justin went up to school. But from all accounts, everybody I've talked to up there, they say he's doing a good job, kind of battling it out this year for the starting spot up there. So wish him the best. And if he is on that field, I hope he's making some plays because I love watching BC.
All right, we appreciate you joining us. Again, Matt Ryan, appreciate you joining us, big guy.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.